Let's get right into it. Wakako Yamauchi is best known for And the Soul Shall Dance, her 1977 play about a Japanese-American family in Southern California. The play is based on a short story Yamauchi had published 3 years earlier. Adapting the story wasn't easy. Theater relies on dialogue between characters, but the original story features little dialogue and instead describes its characters' silent thoughts. To transform the story into a play, Yamauchi created situations where characters reveal their thoughts by speaking them aloud during conversations with each other. So I often say that the most important word in a passage is but. There's a but kind of right before this underlined portion. What is the purpose of that but? Right? The theater relies on dialogue, but there's very little dialogue in the original story. So there's a problem, and then this feels kind of like the solution, right? She kind of rewrote scenes, I guess, so that there was dialogue or they were at least speaking in some way. So let's just see about that. Let's see if there's something that says kind of like it solves a problem. A, it offers information about how Yamauchi adapted her short story into a play. Yeah, maybe. I don't love that. It seems a little vague. You know, it doesn't involve the word solution, but the adapting the short story into the play was something that had a problem. So maybe the how is the solution. She had to rewrite things. I don't know. I don't love it, but it is talking about what the passage is talking about, that she's adapting a short story into a play. So I don't know. Let's keep it. B, it argues that Yamauchi's play influenced later playwrights. Well, no, there's no later playwrights, certainly not in the underlined portion, so gone. C, it explains why Yamauchi's story is better known than the play adaptation is. I don't recall them comparing the two things, right? Certainly not in the underlined portion. She's transformed the story. Doesn't say it's better, doesn't say it's worse, just it's transformed, right? That's neutral. So it's not making a comparison between the two. It's just talking about two things without saying one is better than the other. So I don't think it's better known. D, it describes how Yamauchi chose the actors who performed in the play. No, it's not about the actors at all. So look, A, again, I didn't love it. I really wish they kind of used a word that meant something like solution. That's my dumb summary here. And as dumb as my summary is, the real answer is even dumber, right? It offers information, that's pretty vague, about how Yamauchi adapted her short story into a play. Did she adapt the short story into a play? Yes. How did she do it? Well, she rewrote parts of it to fix this pretty big problem that started with the short story. So they don't mention the problem. They don't mention that the thing that she did to adapt it was to solve this big problem. But it's there. It's kind of implied in the choice. But even still, none of the other answers are even close to being right. So this is why when something is kind of like, I don't know about this choice, just leave it in. Decide on it later, right? You might find something that's much, much better, and that's great. Or you might find that everything else is much, much worse, and then you just kind of settle for that. And that's fine. That's honestly how I do a lot of questions, is very rarely does the right answer to an SAT passage question just jump out to me as being obviously right. That is very, very rare. And when that does happen, I'm very skeptical of that because I'm pretty sure I'm falling for a trap. So I don't even pick that, even in those cases. So you really don't want to just pick something that jumps out as being obviously right. You always want to go through everything and just be sure, because they're really good at making obvious answers wrong and making the right answers very not obvious.